Welcome to the Trust Factor Radio, bringing you interviews and insights to unlock the power of the subconscious mind to create authority, credibility, and trust. With your host, the Authority Architect, and best-selling author, Neil Howe.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is your host, Neil Howe, and today my special guest is Dmitri Kustov. Dmitri is with Regex SEO, and he has an experience in many aspects of digital marketing, information technology, and network marketing. Dmitri developed a versatile skill set that allowed him to create an all-encompassing marketing approach. His background in mathematics and the IT industry, paired with the intimate knowledge of various software and coding languages, have evolved into an extensive skill set for producing excellent and quantifiable results in the SEO industry. Even more, with an ability to adapt quickly and an eagerness to stay updated on the most modern developments in technology and internet marketing, Dmitri has accumulated a vast portfolio of effective work that demonstrates mastery of numerous related skills. His portfolio clients include Service Corporation International, Dignity Memorial, Advantage, and John Deere. Welcome to the show, Dmitri Kustov.
Hello. How are you guys?
Doing very well today. Thank you very much. Want to get into what you've got to say about SEO and what kind of clients that you serve. But first, tell us a little bit about Regex SEO and how that came about.
Okay, so we are a fairly fresh company. We've been in business a bit longer than 3.5 years, and I started it by myself, basically with kind of $0 in the pocket, with great idea of hey, if there are 100 companies out there doing it, I should be able to do it myself as well. Without problems, which of course was not true. It always takes a lot of sweat, tears, and research and hard work to actually get to where we are today. About a year ago or so, I have merged with another company with two of my friends, and since then we've been developing very, very quickly. So in terms of what we do, we are all-encompassing internet marketing company. We do everything from web design to SEO, to SEO campaigns, to email marketing, social media, and much more. The whole idea behind company products or campaigns is that we deliver marketing solutions to clients, and in some cases it requires sometimes it requires for us to build a website for them. Sometimes they already have a website, sometimes they don't have email campaigns going, so we do it for them, and so on.
Well, talk to me about your clients. You're based in Houston, is that right?
Yes, correct. We are based in Houston. We started expanding to close by cities recently. We are also barely a month ago opened a location in Austin as well.
What kind of clients do you serve? Is it like the service-based local clients, or are you more into the e-commerce?
So we don't really have like a profile of a client. We work with everybody, either it's a person or a company who really understands the value of marketing. And sometimes, it's a small mom and pop shop with a couple people in it. And sometimes it's e-commerce solution, sometimes it's a service solution, sometimes it's a personal brand as well. And we work with everybody as long as they understand, as I said before, the value of marketing, because some people, they expect, everything for $200. And of course, that's not ever going to happen. In terms of just budgets of our clients, we have from very small, $1,000, $2,000 campaigns to multi-million-dollar campaigns. And one of our largest clients is Service Corporation International. They are in whole North America, and they have like 1,900 locations, and they're obviously multi-million-dollar campaign company.
Yeah, and I'm sure the problems that they have or the needs that they have are a lot different than your local mom and pop. Let's tackle each of those. Maybe starting with the smaller one, if it's easier. What kind of problems are they having, and why are they coming to you for help?
Well, actually, I think that the problems in the core of itself are always the same. It's they basically need more exposure at the end, all right? And what we do is we utilize different types of campaigns for delivering that exposure. And for example, small companies, small mom and pop shops, they need exposure on maybe like a local area, 10-mile radius, and therefore their audience is several hundred or several thousand people. And for large companies, it's all the same. It's just the amount of people we're trying to reach is much larger. We are going after basically country rather than like a local community or something like that. The reason they come to us is typically it starts with either design of the website or brand development, or actual SEO, specifically like technical SEO campaigns. They come to us with basically with the question how we can help them to get more clients and sales. It always comes down to basically that. And when we start the conversation, we try to ask them why they are not at the point where they would like to be. And sometimes it's because they have never done any marketing. So we would develop a full-blown out marketing campaign. Or, in the case of larger companies, they have tested in the past. Maybe they have some specific questions. Maybe they want improvements or audits or anything like that. And we basically help to take the efforts they're already having to the next level.
Excellent. And talk to me about the individual problems that these companies have. Then you said website design and brand development is one problem. What do you see these companies lacking there?
Okay, so in terms of web design and brand development, many people do not understand the value of brand. At the end of people think that having a logo is a brand, but that's completely untrue. It's more about how people think about your company, how they perceive your company, what feelings your company name or your brand, like the messaging, what feelings what feelings are your customers or potential clients are having when they think about your company. And when people come to us, in terms of design, either we need to just make it pretty, but we don't do just pretty websites. We actually have user experience research and user interface researchers here in house. And the goal is to not just create a good looking website, but actually functional website which converts customers into sales. You can it's kind of like always related, right? You have to have people going to your website in order to get calls and for form submissions or direct sales if you're e-commerce. And in order to do that, you need to market your website, but then vice versa as well. If you have great marketing, but then your website is not, either you don't have a website or it's really bad and people can't find the information they're looking for, then of course they're not going to convert into clients or sales.
Right. It's like the traffic and conversion problem. You definitely need both. Let's talk about what makes a web page convert then. What kind of things from a user experience point of view are important to have on that web page?
Okay, so besides the obvious factor of looking decent, there are several technical factors, like as simple as loading speeds. If most of the people nowadays spend their time on the internet on their mobile phones, and it's 3G, 4G networks. So if your website doesn't load within a couple of seconds, then usually people would leave. If they can't browse quickly enough, and if they can't get to the part of the website which they want to get to quickly enough, they're going to leave. So whenever we develop websites, we kind of like lay out what we call a user journey, the expected steps of any given user to get to maybe a service page or a product page. And it always starts with that structure, and then we basically put a design on top of it.
And as far as the loading speed, that seems to be user experience as well as an SEO marker as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's not like a SEO factor per se, but it's very much related. Nowadays, Google especially, they pay a lot of attention on how users behave on your website. And if website loads too slow, then a lot of users are going to be leaving your website pretty much right away. And Google can read that. If anybody uses Google Chrome, or if any company uses Google Analytics on their website, then Google collects all that data, and they do understand how people interact on your website. So indirectly, yes, it does affect SEO and rankings, really.
So there's definitely different things that you need to put on the website as far as functionality. What kind of things must it include in order to get people to take action?
What kind of functionalities? Overall, I think I kind of already mentioned them all. It needs to look good. It needs to load fast. It needs to have clear also call to actions, which is basically what users need to do in order to convert. It can be as simple as a nice big button saying "call me," or a very easy to understand like the benefits of the product or a service, or some kind of, if it's like a technical e-commerce website, then all the details about the product should be there and accessible. I think at the end of the day, it's basically ease of navigation, ease of using your website.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about the SEO aspect then. What is working now in 2018? What's the most important aspects of SEO?
Okay, I already mentioned that one of the top what they call the top signals for SEO is how users interact with your website. Which comes back to user experience and user interface. But other than that, there are several. It's like several parts of good SEO strategy, good SEO implementation. On-page factors. What content you put on your website. What content you put on your website, basically, what words. What if your website is about cats, you obviously will never rank for dogs. What type of code you're using on your website, because if it's all messed up, it will slow down your website. It might mess with your user experience if they use different browsers. And let's see. The second part is off-page optimization, which is usually we talk about backlinks, about kind of like an exposure of your website from third-party websites, other signals from like social media signals, popularity, and things like that.
How important is the technical aspect of SEO now?
I would say it's much less important than it used to be, for the simple reason of because Google now, with the help of modern browsers, can understand and crawl your website much better than they used to, 5-10 years ago. Like if you had some kind of error in your code on your website, 5-10 years ago, then Google would not be able to basically read your website, and they would kind of just leave without trying to access it. Nowadays, they are much smarter about it. So they do make decisions based on their own expertise kind of thing. So they almost predict, or they fill in the blanks where they can't access. However, there are very important parts of technical SEO, like you can specifically say that you don't want anybody to crawl your website, that you don't want any search engines to be able to access your website. And some people forget about it, and then they wonder, well, why my website is not showing up anywhere? Well, maybe that's why. Other than that, I think, decent, clean code, faster loading website will do the trick.
So what are some of the misconceptions that your clients have about getting SEO done for their site?
I think one of the biggest misconceptions, the most popular ones, is that SEO is a overnight thing. And that's, of course, untrue. It takes quite a bit of time to do optimization, and which brings me to another part of misconception, is that SEO is one-time thing. It's not true at all. It's an ongoing optimizations to your website. You have to be always improving your website, making it better, making it faster. There are the off-page signals like backlinks development and like social media exposure and things like that. It should be an ongoing thing. I think this is one of the top misconceptions. And then the second one is that anybody can do it, and it's really easy. We always hear this from clients. Well, my cousin or my buddy can do the same thing for $200. Well, there is a reason that we're considered experts, and we charge what we charge, because it does take years of experience and quite a bit of research and just manpower to be able to perform and build campaigns and websites the way we build it.
Right. It does take a lot of work. And I know, most business owners in the United States, if they have an email that can be found, there will be some kind of SEO company sending them a message saying that they can do their web work for $200 a month. Like you say, it's a bit of a problem, but it's a little bit more in depth than that to get the results that the client wants.
Absolutely. And as you said, I get those type of emails myself like 10 times a day. It's very frustrating for sure.
It is. So with those kinds of things in mind, what kind of fears do you see from some of your clients that might hold them back from saying yes to an SEO campaign?
I think the main fear is that the money invested will not bring any return, and any SEO company which is half decent will never guarantee like a first spot ranking, because at the end of the day, we do all the work we do and we guarantee our work, but Google algorithm decides ultimately who to put in the first spot. We look at a bunch of metrics and bunch of like signals which are typical for websites, and sometimes we can figure out why this website is ranking number one, and then why the other website is not ranking number one, even though it seems that it should be. And when we talk to our clients about it, they say, well, in their eyes, it's like, hey, I'll spend 6 months of my time and investment, and are you saying that I will never rank? I think that's one of the biggest fears. However, the way we operate is we guarantee progression, that tomorrow is always better than yesterday. And we have all the tools in place which are allowing us to track all the progress, to track all the work we are doing. So in this way, it gives them like a peace of mind, and they can kind of check on us and check on progress towards the goal.
And how do you determine, what to go after if you're just starting on a new campaign? How do you determine, what keywords you really want to go after first to get, some results coming in?
Right. We do like a full blown out research, keyword research for any client who comes in. And sometimes they might think that they have this keyword, which will bring them millions. But then when we do research, we actually see that it's far not the most searched key phrase or keyword. So everything we do, we back up by data. We don't just make guesses. Everything is proven. Everything is data driven. And depending on the budget, we actually do build the campaign for that budget. If you have a couple $1,000s a month to spend, it's going to be completely different from if you have $20,000 a month to spend. And when we develop our campaigns, we actually take serious consideration what will work the best for your company with a given budget. At the end of the day, it might not be even SEO. For some companies, it's not the best approach. So we do not sell the service or like we don't sell necessarily like the service or the product. We sell the solution to your problem, which at the end of the day is would they want more exposure.
Exactly. And I say that to people all the time as well. The number one problem that pretty much every business has is obscurity. If people don't know that you're out there, they're not going to, know to do business with you. So I would certainly agree with you there. Now let's talk about some of the clients that you have done work for, Dmitri, in the past. Tell me of anybody that springs to mind that, what kind of problem did they have when they first came to see you? What were you able to do for them? And what was the outcome? What was the difference it made to their business?
Okay. All right. I have a couple clients who come in mind. One of them is a client, a fairly recent client of ours. They are called In Spirit Collections. They are a brand new watch company. And we developed the full branding, full website, e-commerce platform, and the marketing strategy for them pretty much from scratch. And from like a company which did not exist even on paper, they are now one of the top watch sellers in our area, and they're going national more and more.
Excellent.
And the other one I already mentioned, the Service Corporation International. They are an international funeral services provider with like 1,900 plus locations. And when they came to me, they had a lot of troubles with technical SEO specifically. So like they have their website in several languages. It's obviously a large website with like millions of pages. So they had problems with search engines accessing all of the pages, and they were kind of missing out on that side. So we did actually a full relaunch of their website structure, which kind of fell. It was launched with the new redesign as well at the same time. So After we did that, their visibility increased by more than 30%. Their brand recognition increased by, I believe, like 19+%. And in terms of traffic and sales and, all the all the money part, it increased by quite a bit as well, which I can't disclose, but the numbers were very, very healthy.
Yeah, well, it does definitely make sense for a big company like that to spend some money on getting those technical problems sorted out.
Yeah.
It can make a huge difference to the bottom line, but not only that, for your local business, being featured well in your local area can make a big difference to whether it's an individual family or other families that rely on, a job working there. So it is great work that you do, Dmitri. If somebody is listening to this and wants to reach out to you for a little bit of help, what is the best way for them to do that?
Probably the best way would be to go to our website and either call us or reach out to me on LinkedIn. Our website is regexseo.com. That's regexseo.com. And our LinkedIn, just search my name on LinkedIn, Dmitri Kustov, and you'll find me there.
Excellent. Well, great stuff. I appreciate you spending time with me today. Dmitri Kustov from Regex SEO. Thank you very much for being my guest on the Trust Factor Radio today.
All right. Thank you.
And to our listening audience, if you like what you hear, hit that like button and share, and we'll see you next time on the show.
You've been listening to the Trust Factor Radio with Neil Howe. To learn about the resources mentioned in the show and to listen to past episodes, go to thetrustfactorradio.com. To get a copy of the book, The Trust Factor, go to thetrustfactorbook.com. If you are ready to act now and build your authority, credibility, and trust, schedule a consultation with Neil at theauthorityarchitect.com.